Good afternoon.
Geno, I know it was an entirely different game in coaching staff, but when you think back to last year's game in Detroit, what do you take away from that that might apply to this week?
Yeah, just was a really fun atmosphere. I thought, Detroit, they have a great crowd, and I thought we went in there. We were down a couple starters on our offensive line, but went in there against a really good team and got an early win. I thought it was obviously great for our season to start that way, but it's a new season this year. Like you said, we got a new staff. They're doing some new things, and so we got to play this game. None of those other games really matter. It's just about this one, and I think we got a tremendous opportunity. I'm really looking forward to it.
How loud is that stadium?
It gets pretty loud. It gets pretty loud, especially around the end zone. When you get down there and around the end zone, the fans are like right on you. You can kind of feel them, being right on you. But we handle those situations pretty well, so I think we'll be ready for it.
You like those challenges, going to a hostile place that's really loud and chaotic like that?
I love it. I think it tests your will. It tests your communication. It's super loud. I feel like I'm screaming in the huddle just to get the play out, and then at the line of scrimmage, voice inflection, making sure all the guys can hear me, and then it's something about those environments that just kind of charge you up, just makes you want to go out there and perform, and we really look forward to any opportunity, but especially those great road games on the in environments like Detroit.
Have you ever had a game where you kind of started to lose your voice because you had to scream?
Usually it's after the game, like when we get on the plane or the bus, and then you notice like, man, my voice is gone. I've been screaming for about 2 hours now, and those are the parts of the game that you don't love, but it comes with the territory.
You mentioned down a couple tackles that game. Stone was one of the guys that filled in. Now he's stepped in again. Just what have you seen out of him as he's grown from last year to how he's playing now?
Man, I thought he played tremendous last year, and I think he's continuing to grow. Just his calm demeanor, just the way that he approaches every single day of practice, knowing that, he's the guy who's got to step up and go and do his thing, and we count on him to do that. Like you said, last year he performed extremely well against those guys, and they have a really good pass rush, and I thought Stone really held his own. And we expect the same from him. He's a great player. He's a young guy who's, still learning, still growing, but he's got all the tools. Obviously, 6'8" tackle, man, that's exactly what you look for, but, we're looking forward to him and his performance.
What have you noticed about Detroit defensively? Same, different from last season? Any differences?
Well, what stands out on tape is just their effort. A Dan Campbell coach team, they're going to play hard. They're going to fly to the ball. They're going to try and hit you and be physical. They want to out-physical you up front. They want to load the box. They want to play with, base personnel, 3 linebackers, really, stuff the run, get you in some second and third and long situations where, Aidan Hutchinson and the rest of the pass rush can come alive. And so just watching them on film, man, they're, they run a lot of different coverages. Obviously, Coach Glenn is a DB, so he likes to tailor the defenses to his DBs. But up front, man, they're stout. They can stop the run and they can pass rush. And so another, tough opponent for us that we look forward to.
Whether it's been Dallas or Detroit or New Orleans, you had some of your best games in dome stadiums. Has that always been something for you or something you like about playing indoors?
I mean, there's no weather element. I think, most quarterbacks are really good inside. And for me, it's no different. I think just playing anywhere for me is good, but I think, when there's no weather and, the type of spin I get on the ball, it just allows the ball to, just float nicely through the thin air inside the dome. And so for me, I don't really think about it that much, but obviously the numbers are the numbers, and hopefully we can continue that.
You've also scored an average of 45 points in the last 3 games against Detroit. What has been the formula for success against these guys in the last few games?
Yeah, I think we just play well, execution. But none of that stuff can, really matter going into this game. It's about what we do when we get out there on Monday. I think that, we can look back at that and say, hey, we've done some great things, but they're watching that as well. And I know they're going to come in and they're going to be ready to kind of put a stop to that. So it's going to be a great challenge for us. And like I said, those 3 games in the past, they mean nothing. It's about what we do Monday night.
On 2 different occasions now, you've rallied your offense to to continue forward. Can you just talk about your leadership and your voice and what it's meant to this team so far?
Yeah, I just try to be like, I'm the elder spokesman on the team now, and I just try to be there for the guys. Think about being like the thermometer in the huddle. If it's getting too hot in there, cool them down, and if it's too cool, then I need to, bring that energy that we need to the huddle. So just always trying to encourage my guys. Last week we hit a lull, somewhere around the second quarter, and I just felt like, guys. It's natural for guys to start to press, right, to start to try to make plays. So I just wanted to remind the guys that, just do the little things, not get caught up into the emotion so much of the game. And, we need to get going. That was the key thing. We need to get some stuff going. And so whatever I can do, whether that's vocal or just by, just doing it by example, it's what I'll do to make sure these guys are ready.
You were pretty hard on yourself after the game. When you went back and looked at the film, did you still have the same kind of assessment of it, or?
Yeah, that's after every game, as you guys know, and I try to demand perfection from myself, even though I'm far from perfect. But that's just the way that I approach it. I felt like there were some things that we left out there as an offense on the field, some yards that we could have had that we didn't execute on, and like I said, man, I placed that blame on me. I got to be able to get the guys going. Like, we started really fast, but then we sputtered, So, like, we got to be able to play a clean 4 quarters of football, eliminate the turnovers, eliminate the penalties, don't shoot ourselves in the foot, and make the defense beat us and see what we can get on that.
You mentioned earlier.
Hutchinson leads the league in sacks. You're not thinking about sack total when you're out there. What are you thinking about in trying to counter what Aidan Hutchinson can do?
Yeah, we got to find 97, man. He's off to a great start. Obviously, he's a high draft pick, and he's a guy who they're going to, rely on. And so if we can stalemate him, keep him from making, big plays and getting in the backfield and, getting TFLs and sacks, then, we make it harder on their defense to stop us. And so we'll definitely have a plan for him, know where he is at all times, and just make sure that, we trust our guys to block him, but also making sure that we have a plan in place to, make sure that he's just not, running free all day.
Are Monday night games still cool?
Excuse me?
Are Monday night games still cool?
Oh, yeah. I love Monday night games. I love playing regardless, but anytime you can play on Monday night, and for us, this team, to be able to, to have that spotlight game, to kind of show, I know in the, Pacific Northwest, we don't get the most spotlight, but, to be able to kind of show the world what we're about, we really look forward to that.
You mentioned they like to get teams second long, third and long. You guys had a lot of third and longs last week. How do you kind of stay out of those situations?
It starts with not having penalties. It starts with, not taking sacks, being really efficient on first down, making sure that we're having positive plays and not negative ones. And then, obviously, man, like anytime you're in third and long, second and long, it's going to be tough to get a first down. And those are usually the situations where we sputter as an offense. And so, like, if we can get out of our own way, and just go play clean football, we're more than talented enough to move the ball. And so that's the main thing, is that we just got to make sure we're in manageable situations so that we can, have the best opportunity to get the first down.
On the idea of you being like the thermometer, I mean, there's clips of Tom Brady like really getting on guys, on teammates on the sideline, Troy Aikman too. Are there ever times where you feel like you need to hold teammates accountable on the sideline for mistakes or sloppy play or whatever it may be?
Yeah, I think everyone does it in their own way. Tom Brady won how many Super Bowls, right? Troy Aikman won how many Super Bowls? So them yelling or getting on the guy, they can fall back on that. For me, I'm not really a negative type of, guy. I don't want to, beat guys up on the sideline or have them thinking about things that they shouldn't, right? So instead of me taking a negative approach, I take the positive approach, and, I try to uplift them and give them words of encouragement. And, that's something I do for myself as well. So instead of, yelling, sometimes you want to, right? You want to get mad and you want to, curse a guy out, but it's not the right thing to do, especially not at that time. And so for me, it's always about positive reinforcement and just trying to uplift guys.
Sam Darnold this year, Baker Mayfield last year, you the year before, there have been some revivals. Do you have a perspective on what's best for a rookie quarterback coming into the league? Should they get thrown right into the fire, or should they get a chance to develop?
I think, man, that's a tough question. I think for me personally, I can only speak for that. I wanted to play early. I wanted to be out there as a rookie and, kind of take my lumps if I had to. I think, experience is always the best professor. So anytime you could be on the field, gaining that experience is going to help you. And I think that helped me out a bunch, just playing right away. there's been many cases of guys who have sat their first year or even their first 3 years and have turned out great. And so I think it's not a cookie cutter type of thing. I think every single person has their own journey, their own story, and you just got to stick to that.
The positivity with the teammates, is that something you did starting with the Jets, or is that something that's evolved as you've gotten more experience?
Yeah, I think it's been like that my entire life. I just don't see the benefit in, yelling at a guy or cursing him out or making them feel some type of way when our jobs are hard as it is. It's not easy. Guys aren't out there making mistakes on purpose. Those things happen. And the more you can positively encourage a guy, I think the better off you are. But everyone's different, and I think, there's many ways to do it.
Earlier you said, when you're talking about sacks, you said not taking sacks. In general, are sacks usually on the QB, or how much of that is protection plans? Like, how would you done?
I wouldn't place the blame on anybody. I'll just say a sack's a sack, just like an interception's an interception. I think you just got to be better at not having that happen. I think you can look at whatever you want to look at and say this is the reason or that's the reason. But the reality is a sack's a sack and a pick's a pick. So not having it happen means all 11 guys, are contributing to that. And I think that's what we're talking about when I say that.
You talked about working on contested catches yesterday. Is that something that you initiated or he did?
That's something he wanted to work on his own, and I think it's great that he said that. But I thought he was already a really good contested catching guy, and I think DK is just trying to continue to improve. That's something that we love to see. We worked a bunch during the off season on those. We still do every day at practice, and so giving him an opportunity in a 50-50 situation is always going to benefit us. We think the world of him. I think he's one of the best guys in the game, and the more I can get him touches and get him ops at the ball, the better off we'll be.
Your tight ends were part of the passing game, obviously, 10 receptions out of your 26 you had. Can you talk about that unit and then also at Farrell Brown? Only one reception, but what he brought.
Yeah, I think that unit is they bring a lot of life to our team, and they really close the circle on our offense. They're blockers. You talk about Farrell, really good pass blocker, great in the run game, also can catch the ball, and good after the catch. You talk about Noah Fant, sorry. Just one of the better tight ends, in my opinion, in the league. He's got it all. Physical guy, great after the catch, as tough as nails. Brady doing his thing. Anytime he steps in there, he's making plays. It's just great to see all those guys. And then we got the young buck who's stepping in and stepping up as well. And we rely on those guys a lot. We trust those guys to make plays. Any one of those guys can step in and do their thing. And, it was great to see Noah have a great game last week. We hope that continues. And we got to use all our weapons. And that tight end room is definitely a part of that.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.